We set up Maple in January 2010. It was, the world was just coming out of the Lehman crisis then. And I think this was an initiative because we believed that if we establish a platform which is professional in nature and can provide high quality service and can target owner managers in this country, whether it be to be identifying owner managers for international players, MNCs, or such owner managers looking to further consolidate, is the space that we wanted to work in. I think there was a vacuum there. We are based in New Delhi, where I think creating a professional M&A boutique firm was a USP, because most players would be either very large firms or it would be offshoots of accounting firms or CA firms. So pure play M&A house, there was a vacuum that I saw there, and I think we have just filled the gap in that. We wanted to ensure that we are knowledge based, so whatever we do is the sectors that we understand. Ideally, we want to back that up with research, establish work and align with partners, not only in India but internationally. So Maple has now partners whom we work very closely with in France, in UK, in US, in Japan, in Belgium. We have our own associate who also operates out of Belgium to cover the European markets. Only in 2.5 years, out of which 1.5 years have been the worst in the financial markets, we have stood through this. We have created a brand. We have a track record. I think we have to capitalize this track record with the needs of our clients and how we grow. We will enhance our offering both in geographical reach, products, and increasingly get to be in closer partnerships. We may be getting into incubating businesses. Principal financing is an area we have been exploring. It's probably an area we will further develop because we have had strong experience in that. Market conditions being right, there is a great opportunity there to target sectors and financing solutions which are typically not well addressed by the banking system today. They can be complex corporate financing solutions, and they can be on one end at the retail side. So both these are great opportunity areas. In addition to our core business, which is really on the M&A side, which is where we see enhancing our presence, increasing our partnerships globally, and depending on how the business goes, the headcounts will follow. There are some very good things in India right now. I think the technology platform is probably, we are ahead of the curve in technology than the West. The access to technology and cost of technology is way lower than what you would probably get in the West. So that is one big plus in the ecosystem that you have. And in a knowledge-based business, if you have technology on your side, a big part of the battle is won. So that is certainly a very big plus, and I think we under-highlight that in our context. The access we have, the cost of access on technology, it is fantastic. From an ecosystem standpoint, the government has been positive on various, I think we have great internet access freedom, which is there in this country, freedom of communication, speech. That is good and bad, but I think that is a big advantage when you compare to many markets as you compare in developing world. There are a lot of restrictions on these areas. If you look there is progressive improvement in infrastructure. Our travel, for instance, has changed. Our hospitality environment has changed. So people in the service industry, these are important. So these are certainly much better than what they were 15 years ago. So now that it is easier connectivity, easier availability at relatively affordable price points is a very positive thing. There's a lot needs to be done from the perspective of brand India to reinforce the actions of Indian corporates, to reinforce the presence of what India is doing, reinforce the positives, and suggest ways of managing the challenges. That's all needs to be done in a very efficient way. Now, if you see very much smaller countries, much smaller population, but they do a great job of branding. And I think we have all those ingredients and parts in India, but we need to manage, package, and highlight it. So, we can't generalize that, there are some states which are very challenging and India becomes challenging. There are some states which are great to invest in. There is great infrastructure in some states. So we need to package all those things very effectively. You look at Switzerland, very small country, state of smaller than probably Haryana, but the way they package themselves in branding. If you look at Canada, great big country, very few people, not more than New Delhi, but they package themselves so well. So I think there are a lot of good initiatives, and branding needs to be conscious of highlighting those good initiatives in a responsible way. Because at the end of the day, what you brand has to be experience. Because if that experience doesn't match up to what you highlight, you probably find a disconnect which goes in the negative territory, which you don't want. So I think highlighting what we are doing right in a positive way, and highlighting ways to manage the challenges, because we are a complex country. We are 3 times the number of people in the United States of America. People should understand that. We are a smaller country than the United States of America in geography. And so we have a lot more people intensity, which with the freedom of speech, with the freedom of with a democratic setup, there are challenges. These are very positive things on one side. On the other side, there's a cost we are paying for it, and we need to manage that in that context. So I think IBF has a great role to play, a long way to go, and it's a very good step in the right direction. But this branding needs to be enhanced and needs to be continuously reinforcing actions and positive actions of Indians, and continuously highlighting and managing challenges in India. The environment from a government side has been very encouraging for us. I think there's nothing that came in our way really from the government side. What could have come, or what may have come in our way, in our path from Maple now, is more of the market, and that's a market challenge that we face, because that's been faced by everyone in the country in the last 3 years, and that only ensured that what we deliver it more efficiently, and we do provide superior superior services to our clients, higher quality. We compete with most of the big names in many of the verticals, and the fact that clients continue to work with us is a big, very heartening for us. But from a government point of view, from an ecosystem point of view, the challenges haven't been worth mentioning really. In fact, it's a very positive ecosystem for the service industry. A lot of it also driven by how the IT services bloomed in the country. Very little interference in our sector. Yes, as it gets capital intensive, there are challenges. If I were to become a bank tomorrow, I can't go and open a bank, right? So, I mean, there are challenges in that side. For good and bad, those challenges will be there in markets, because, those sectors have to be managed. You can't have a free flow of action in that sector. So, but having said that, if you are in the consulting services business, it's a very enabling market. There is nothing which is inhibiting us.